Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today let's play a bit with our friend Black Manta. We're almost level 30 with that character, so let's try and reach level 30 if we can. If we're lucky we'll reach it today, if not, we'll get at least a bit closer. So let me finish setting things up on my end, that should be good to go. I guess not. So let's wait and see if we're going to see your comments. I guess not yet. Lots of people today. And I know I've showed it before, but for those who may not have seen it, this is the old Black Manta set of gear, and the one I'm wearing is the brand new one we just got not too long ago. Sorry, I'm just checking. I have a bit of a. Oh, there we go. The Evil Live service on YouTube sometimes don't want to cooperate. It happens. So today we're going to play with our friend the Atlantic Master using our Black Manta Armory. I basically have two armories. I have a Black Manta Armory, which is my DPS armory. I actually have three armories now. But I have also my Ocean Master Armory. Originally, this character was my Ocean Master character. I probably should have made a new character that would be Black Manta. But I've a little too many characters, so I decided to just go with to use the same character, but give it some Black Manta Armory. Oh, hello, Jeffrey. I saw your earlier comment. I'll see about what I can do about making a video about the various base items. I made a video about each item, but I could make a video about all of them. That would not be an issue. So let's see.
Word on the street is that Wayne Enterprises has a big diamond shipment in a storage facility in Burnley. Maybe Bruce Wayne is finally planning to pop the question to one of his socialites. But don't worry about him. I'm sure he can buy more when you steal these.
Hello, Raxian.
Two-Face in the Burnley safe house has the way in.
So let's go to Gotham. I think we have to go to Burnley, not North Burnley. It's been a while since I played those missions, so I could be mistaken, but let's see. We'll know soon enough. I'm playing on PlayStation 4. I play on both PlayStation 4 and PC. As a rule of thumb, I have a tendency to play a bit more on the PlayStation 4 right now. But it depends. When I started playing, the game was playing much better on my PlayStation 3.
Calculator sent you to me about the Wayne diamonds in Burnley. You're in luck. The coin flip says I tell you how to get in.
Hi, I'm Booster Gold. You might remember me from other exploration adventures, such as the
let's talk to our friend here.
A contact of mine figured you as a results-oriented individual who isn't afraid to bend some rules.
Ah, she has the evil eyes.
Botanical Gardens and the Burnley freight yards of
Oh, thank you, 100 subs. Much appreciated. That's very sweet of you. So basically, when I started playing, I was playing on PlayStation 3. Because I had a PC at the time, but my PC could run DC Universe Online, but barely. So I started playing, when the game went free to play, I tried the game on PlayStation 3. And it was, that's where it worked the best. And then later on, I got a much better PC. So for a while, I was playing a lot more on PC. Thanks to my PC being, was able to run the game flawlessly at the time. It was a brand new PC, and it was a pretty powerful PC at the time. But then later on, I got a PlayStation 4. Hi, 100 subs, and thanks a lot for your super chat. It's much appreciated. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Whoa. You look like someone who'd like a friend on the inside of GCPD. Tell you what, one of them SCU bums round the corner has some evidence that could incriminate me.
Oh, Racian, you're seeing... did you see Avengers Infinity War? If you did, lucky you. Don't say any spoilers. Most of us did not see it just yet. With a bit of luck, with a bit of luck, I'll see it Friday maybe. But here, it starts Thursday night. I don't think I'm going to be able to see it Thursday. I wish I could, but I'm not sure if it's going to be an option. Also, I don't even know if there are even still tickets for Thursday. From what I understand, they had some pretty big sales record when it comes to the tickets for Avengers Infinity War. So the plan right now is to see it on Friday. Thank you, Racian. Much appreciated. So the plan is to right now to see it on Friday. If not, sometimes during the weekend.
You need to clear the area.
And I don't know if you guys saw the announcement. Basically, tomorrow we're going to have game update 82 that will be added to the game. The game will be down for about 6 hours. So if you try to log into this Universe Online tomorrow and you can't, that's going to be why. Tomorrow we have Game Update 82 that gets added to the game. Basically, the biggest thing Game Update 82 will bring is that we're going to be able to share style between our characters, to purchase styles from our characters. Like we're going to be able to go into our style tab, and let's say I go into heads. There's a whole bunch of heads that I will be able to purchase, assuming that some of my other characters actually have those heads. And also this weekend there will be a Atlantean Crowns weekend, bonus weekend. So we should be able to get bonus Atlantean Crowns from Thursday all the way to Sunday. So it'll be a good weekend. We're going to be able to unlock a whole bunch of styles for our characters, and we're going to be able to get bonus crown during the weekend. Don't even joke about that, Jeffrey. Some people will think you're serious, and then they'll want to hang you or something. I wouldn't even joke about doing about something like that. I'd worry that people would hang me or something. For any bounty available? Yeah, I guess we could do a weekly bounty run, I suppose. That's something that could be explored. If you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, let me know, and we'll see about doing... maybe on Thursday it could be a live stream about... maybe not Thursday, maybe Friday. Either way, Thursday or Friday we could do a live stream where we do bounties. That could be fun. I understand why you're suggesting that. Doing bounties is a little bit challenging when nobody wants to do them. So unless you can actually solo them bounties, doing them is not really an option. Ideally, what you want to do for the bounties, you want to be able to play them as soon as we get the reset. So usually Thursday when we just got the reset, if we look for bounty for groups for bounties, then we should be able to find some. But depending on the combat rating of your character, there are bounties that you should be able to do solo at some point.
Hands up and weapons down.
But obviously, the most recent one. I know you were joking, Jeffrey. It's just that there's a lot of people who take their comic book movies very seriously. So hearing even fake spoilers, there are people who would probably go crazy over that. Ah, salut Hyperax. Ah, ça va bien. Well, for getting skill points, you have to be able to get some of the feats. Some of the feats, sadly, are very time-consuming, and there are certain feats that can only be done over time. Like at some point, there are feats like defeating 5,000 Reapers. You could do that in one day if you really wanted to. You could go to Metropolis, fight every Reapers you see, and sooner or later you would be able to fight off 5,000 of them. But there are certain feats that you have to do it like once a day, and you can only do it once a day. So there are certain feats that you have no choice. You do them once a day, every day for like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and then sooner or later you do get the feat.
Striking out on our own, are we? And here I thought we could be such good friends. If you want to stay on my good side, you give those stolen.
To all in my
Hello, cool dude.
The diamond is a versatile, beautiful gem. It's the perfect focus for my freeze ray, the perfect focus for my revenge.
I'm not sure if the tank powers are always the strongest in DPS role, but it's easy to understand why. Basically, tank have to be able to survive through. They have to be really tough, and they have to have a lot of survivability. So usually, tank abilities have a lot of survivability built into them. So if you play a character that has a lot of powers, a lot of abilities that will allow him to survive, it will create a DPS that is much harder to kill. So it will create a DPS that can survive through most fights, which is probably why it makes for stronger DPSs. Usually DPSs will be often DPSs will be what we call a glass cannon. There'll be DPSs that do a lot of damages, but that are almost snowflakes that can be destroyed very easily. But if you end up with a power that usually is a tank power that can survive a lot of damage, then you end up with a DPS that can survive through most fights. So that usually makes for a better DPS. There's a lot of DPS who have zero survivability or are very easy to defeat. But if you have a DPS that has tank powers, then the DPS will have some survivability built into it, even if all he does is DPS. It may seem a bit confusing. That's alright, cool dude. No problem, Marvin. Yeah, I'll see about doing a video about the various base items like ambush bug. Already I do have a video about ambush bug and mixed use Spidilic and a few others like that, even crypto. But yeah, I could do an update video for all of them. That's not an issue. Well, the Earth power is a special beast. The thing is, ground pound, I think it's called. Basically, the ability where they punch the ground. It's a very powerful ability that does a lot of damage right now. So pretty much anyone who plays an Earth tank, or anyone who plays an Earth character and who plays as a DPS, or even as a tank for that matters, they all use ground pound. Sadly, it's one of the powers that seems to be a little more powerful than the rest. So pretty much everyone who uses Earth power is pretty much using that power, that ability. It's something that sadly happens from time to time. Like at some point in PvP, everyone was using one-handed weapon because it was by far the best weapon to play PvP with. Like there's always certain items who are a bit more powerful than the rest, or certain abilities that are a bit more powerful than the rest. And sadly, people usually will gravitate towards those abilities and those powers.
Scarecrow, your offer of aid is appreciated, but not necessary. I look on companionship as cold comfort these days.
Incoming! Where's our backup?
Pour l'aura de Doomsday, je pense il faut ramasser une collection dans l'événement de Superman. Je vais faire une vidéo sur Superman, peut-être ce soir ou demain, en français. Ça devrait t'aider un peu. Red Death vient des capsules temporelles de Paradox. Mais le courtier est pas mal la meilleure option dans le moment pour avoir l'équipement de Red Death. Ça dépend si tu peux l'acheter sur le courtier, ouais, c'est assez facile à l'avoir. Oh, let's see if we can be a boss and do both at once. I don't think I succeeded. I think they did destroy the car. Poor little car. See what happens when you try to do too much? It doesn't work.
Aren't you the devious little psychopath? Springing Freeze's men? Beating on cops? After that little act, Mr. Freeze must think you're his new best friend. I had Calculator arrange a meeting for you with one of Freeze's men nearby.
Let's start to old friend first. Usually I pick the side quest first, and then I pick the main quest. So it gives us a whole bunch of objectives in the very same spot. Makes it a bit easier and a bit faster to complete the missions.
You must be the one Mr. Freeze.
Because technically you're doing 2 missions at the same time.
Oh, buddy with Mr. Ice and Snowman now.
And let's see, did we get a new reward? Nothing worth it. So we got an item for the new artifacts. As we play, we'll get some other probably.
Besides, I know how much you enjoy beating up our boys in blue.
Yeah, I have too much crap in my inventory. I have to do some cleaning up at some point. Oh, sure, you want to see my suit? This is my suit. I have a video specifically with that suit if you want to watch it as much as you like. But this is the enhanced version of the Black Manta suit, and holy crap, does it look awesome. The only one thing that I don't like, but it's not just with the Black Manta suit, with a lot of suit we can see It's pretty much the same thing. For some reason, they don't have an emblem on the enhanced version of the Black Manta suit, or even on the Black Manta suit period. In the case of Black Manta, not that big of an issue, I suppose. But there are some set of gear, like at some point they give us a Green Arrow set of gear, and they give us a Green Arrow emblem, but there was no place to put the Green Arrow emblem on the Green Arrow set of gear. Sadly, it happens. They did the same with Dr. Midnight. They did the same with the Alan Scott set of gear, the Green Knight set of gear. They did the same. So basically, they give us those awesome looking gear, but where we cannot equip an emblem on our awesome looking gear. So if we want to have an emblem, like here I made an armory where I'm using pretty much a mixture of the Black Manta set of gear with the Scuba set of gear, which allows me then to have an emblem, and also have the Spindrift shoulders. So if you want to have an emblem, you have to sadly tweak the look at least a bit. Yeah, it is the second version. There is there's another Black Manta set of gear that you can have in Tier 5. If you're an evil villain, once you reach Tier 5, there is a set of gear that you can purchase that has to do with Black Manta. Le Journeyman Boots, c'est juste les pieds Hyperaxe. Hello, Dragon Warrior. Sorry I missed some of your... Hello, Jack and Go. Jeffrey, I don't mind... if Spider-Man is in Venom, fine. If Spider-Man is not in Venom, fine. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if Spider-Man is with Venom or not. What we want is a good film. Give us a good film and we'll be happy. If Spider-Man is in a good film, we will be happy. If they give us a good film and Spider-Man is not in the film, we will still be happy. So the first thing is give us a good film. If the film is good, we will be happy whether Spider-Man is in it or not. And the trailer, well, you saw the trailer, Jeffrey. I don't have to. I'm not telling you anything new. The trailer for Venom so far was awesome. It's very promising. The very first trailer we had seen was a little disappointing, I guess. But this one was awesome, and it ended in the perfect way. When we have our friend Eddie Brock starts going, we, and then ends up saying our Venom in Venom form, that was perfect. But for Spider-Man, yeah, it would have been nice. It would be nice if we have an appearance by Spider-Man. But again, as long as the film is good, honestly, I don't care. If they give us a good Venom film, doesn't matter if Spider-Man is there or not. I don't think this is the last of the emblems. I think they wanted to add the artifacts, and they wanted to add one more layer to monetize the artifacts. So they tried by having some sort of system with the artifacts that gets added to the time capsules. I suspect we are going to get more emblems. But as we can see, there's no guarantee that we will get emblems in every time capsules. Like so far, we expected to have emblems with time capsules because that is pretty much how it worked so far. But now we know that it's quite possible that we could get some time capsules that don't have an emblem. But also, there are other ways we can get emblems. Like the last time we got a whole bunch of emblems was during the anniversary event when we got all the Batman Dark Knight Metal emblems. Oui, dans le film de Venom, je pense qu'il va y avoir plusieurs symbiotes. Yeah, I watched a new Flash episode, but honestly, I don't really want to watch that show anymore. I watched the last two episodes.
You don't see the cold truth.
Uh,
These missions, my
at first, I didn't want to watch those episodes again. Oh,
frostbitten plants are the least of my worries.
Green Arrow was going crazy after a friend. Basically, the episode we saw, not last week, the week before, the episode where Ralph was acting like an idiot, and somehow it was just him. Supposedly, it was just that he was acting different than Barry. It wasn't that he was acting like an idiot. That made no freaking sense. Ralph was acting like a complete idiot. Barry was 1000% right to be angry at Ralph for being an idiot, and somehow it ended up being no, Barry was wrong. He has to let Ralph do things his own way, even if he's being an idiot. It's like no, that was beyond stupid. And also the whole thing with the episode and the the whoopee cushion. And in the end, that's pretty much how he saved Barry. He turned into a whoopee cushion. I was like, that was by far the worst episode we saw this year, and it was bad to the point where I did not even want to watch that show anymore. The episode after that was a tiny bit better. The tone at least was better, and we understood why they've been trying to have that jokey tone with the Flash pretty much throughout the whole season, and but for the episode last week, they could not go jokey because of what would become of the final fate of Ralph. Somehow they did not want to undercut that moment with some jokes. But they've been undercutting pretty much everything since the beginning of the seasons with jokes. But somehow the whole bit with Ralph, that was important enough for them to say, okay, let's not make any jokes this episode because something important is happening. But throughout the whole season, they've been undercutting important moments with some crappy jokes. So yeah, I did watch it yesterday, but again, yesterday it was obvious that they were trying to push for the narrative of the grief thing. I'm not sure why I'm still in that group. So they were pushing the whole narrative about the whole grief and all that, and they were doing that in a very clunky way. The one thing I enjoyed yesterday was seeing Captain Cold again. I love that character. He was one of the good characters in Legends of Tomorrow, and I was really sad when they decided to quote-unquote get rid of him. Well, but he does make a comeback from time to time, so I guess that's okay. No, I was very happy to get rid of Ralph. I hated the character. Usually I love Ralph Dibny in the comics, but in the Flash TV show, the way they made him into a bumbling buffoon and an idiot, Like he was a lot of things in the comics. It was a fun character. He was there for humor, which was fine, but he was never an idiot the way they portrayed him in the TV show. Holy crap. And especially when what kills me the most is that whenever we have a scene with Ralph, they feel forced to have this little bumbling music that plays in the background, boop 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 boop, to let us know that this is supposed to be a funny moment. And it's not funny. I guess if you think that Ralph in the TV show was funny, then you probably enjoyed it. I pretty much hated the way they portrayed that character, and I pretty much hated I didn't find it funny one bit. But there's a whole truckload of things that are quote unquote wrong with the Flash TV show this year. Maybe I'll make a video talking about all of that by the end of the season. We'll see. But I'm pretty much done with the Flash. I don't really want to watch it anymore. I may watch the rest of the season and then throw in and then never watch it again. We'll see. I haven't 100% made up my mind, but right now at this point, I don't really want to watch the show anymore. Yeah, they'll probably have Caitlyn become Killer Frost again. Yesterday, at first we thought that maybe they could get rid of Killer Frost, and especially since yesterday when we saw her use the Captain Cold gun from Earth 1, I guess. we thought they were planting the seed that okay, maybe she won't be Killer Frost anymore, but she'll use the cold gun from Earth 1 to still be the same to still do the same job that she could do as Killer Frost. But but then yesterday they planted the seed that oh no, Killer Frost is still inside her. They just don't know how to reach her yet. So yeah, we will see. We will most likely see Killer Frost again. Yeah, we got the announcement for the Earth 19 Flash some time ago, and that's pretty much when I decided that I didn't really want to watch the show anymore. Basically, our friend Jeffrey showed me that, and showed me that there was a I think it was on ComicCon.com or something like that. There was an article where they were talking about the Earth 19 Flash. And I didn't care. I didn't care. So that's when I pretty much decided or realized that I don't want to watch that show anymore. Something like the Earth 19 Flash should have been a cool announcement. I should have been happy about that, but I don't care.
Meet me in the power room at the end of the corridors.
Yeah, I wish they would add a box in the marketplace in the time capsule. I don't care. I wish they would add a box where we could have a whole bunch of Superman related emblem or Superman styles. I would be happy with that.
My dearest Nora, my wife.
I'm pretty sure in the long run we will have a Superman emblem. Like I'm pretty sure during the Superman event we will have a new Superman emblem. They have to give us a new Superman emblem then. If they don't give us one then they'll never give us one. And also, we know that the Superman event will officially start on May the 18th. There was a video on the DC Comics YouTube page where they actually talk about that. But yeah, for Ralph, I wasn't sad at all. I know it was supposed to be a sad moment, it was supposed to be a sad scene, but I hate the character and the interpretation of the character so much this year that I was just happy to think that okay, at last we got rid of that freaking character. And it was obvious, it became obvious for a while, like basically when they pretty much ever since they showed that Ralph could take the appearance of someone else. Well, we knew that at some point the Tinker would take over Ralph, and that he would use Ralph to be able to get back to looking the way he used to look. Like the Devo was going to use Ralph to look like Devo once more. So that was to be expected a long time ago. So I wasn't really surprised when he took over Ralph, and then when he turned into Devo. I expected that as soon as they revealed that Ralph could actually turn into anyone else. Hello, Naji. For the Black Flash, they didn't really establish exactly how it works. We have a somewhat vague idea. Basically, we know that it's something that goes after speedsters. After speedsters, or after speedsters who go back in time, or after time remnants, or stuff like that. In some earlier seasons, they had established that there was a quote-unquote special way to be able to avoid the they had teased some way that they could avoid some creatures like the Black Flash. I forget what the actual name is. It was the episode where Barry goes back in time to meet Zoom, to meet Reverse Flash, and then Reverse Flash tells him that he knows how to avoid those creatures. But we don't really know how they actually really avoid them. Ah, c'est pas grave, Hyperax.
imbeciles, kill this traitor.
Ah, il y a bien des choses de possibles. Essentiellement, ils peuvent faire pas mal ce qu'ils veulent.
My revenge is always served cold.
I've been told I have quite the gravitas.
Nora, I failed you.
One day, there will be a tombot in every household.
Don't you like it when you get the same reward twice? Oh well. So let's equip that little belt and that little ring. Oh yeah.
Why rip off today what you can rip off tomorrow?
Ah, Tombat, you're so silly.
Ooh, impressive.
My Nora.
I don't know if the Flash will last much longer. Well, the Flash right now, at least as far as I can tell, it's the most popular of their CW TV shows. So I don't think they will get rid of the Flash, but I haven't taken a closer look at the ratings lately. I know that the ratings at some point this year were in free fall. If you're wondering why I was trying to stop those little guys, as you can see, there's a feat. If you keep them from escaping this map, you have a little feat that comes with that. Technically, the Flash should be lasting much longer because, as far as I know, it's probably their most popular show. At least at the start of the season, it was their most popular show. But they did a great job this year, pretty much ruining not just the Flash, even Legends of Tomorrow. Even Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, they did a good job. Pretty much undermining their own shows. Oh yeah, the first season of the Flash is by far the best one. The same is true with Arrow. The first season of Arrow is the best one, but with Arrow Arrow remained good throughout the whole run. This year has been pretty much the weakest run of Arrow so far, and it's still much better than what they did with the Flash.
It's my partner in crime.
I don't think they would bring back a Smallville right now. They started Krypton. That seems to be their new idea.
We all have.
So the sad thing is that they're trying to give us like a Superman TV show without Superman. Like they want to have a Superman TV show, but they don't want to have to spend the budget for the visual effects for Superman. So they're trying to give us a Superman TV show without Superman. And with Batman, they're doing pretty much the same thing. They're trying to give us a Batman TV show with Gotham without Batman. In the case of Batman, it's not so much for the visual effects. It's just that somehow they see the Batman property as more valuable for the big screen. So they're trying to only use Batman on the big screen. And they're not even doing that because they can't make up their mind about the upcoming Batman film. We'll see our friend Deathstroke after that. But yeah, Smallville would probably fit within their plans. Like Smallville is a Superman TV show without Superman, so they just use visual effects for about 30 seconds in the show when he whizzes around, or for the 30 seconds where he actually uses his power, and pretty much everything else in Smallville was drama. And they would talk and talk and talk, and they would create drama over nothing.
There's no bounty in it. Yet. So,
A cartoon season of Smallville? I'm not sure what the point would be for that, because if there's one place where you can actually showcase Superman's powers, it is within a cartoon. So why bother with a Superman cartoon, like with a Smallville cartoon? Just do a plain old Superman cartoon. So that's a bit suspect, if you ask me. But that wouldn't surprise me. That's I'm sure some producers has some bright idea about trying to cash in on the nostalgia for Smallville with a cartoon. I don't know. Charisma, you're level 28. Yeah, sure. If you want the. If I ever get tired, and why? Well, if I don't sleep, obviously I get tired. I assume you mean about DC Universe Online. No, I don't. I don't get tired about DC Universe Online. I love playing this game. I love the new stuff that gets added, like the new styles. I didn't realize that early on when I was playing DC Universe Online, and it's only later on that I realized that. I love like getting new styles for my characters and seeing how, and that's probably why one of the reasons why I love Time Capsules so much. Time Capsules brought us a lot of extra styles that we would not have had otherwise. It brought us a lot of emblems, a lot of costumes. Like, yeah, we do get costumes with each DLC, but now we could get like 2 new costumes with a new DLC, and a 3rd new costume with a time capsule, and technically more if you count the enhanced version of the costumes. And the same with the emblems. We could get with time capsules a whole truckload of emblems. And also, as you may have noticed, I have a lot of characters. So if I get tired of playing this Universe Online with one character, then I switch to another character. Like if I get tired of playing endgame content, then I switch to a low-level character and I play some leveling up missions. So there's quite a few ways to not get bored with DC Universe Online. And heck, I have so much stuff to do that I don't even recall the last time I played PvP. Like it's been a while since I played any PvP. At some point, I used to alternate between PvE and PvP to create a change of pace. But right now, it's more of I play my main and then I switch to my alternate characters as opposed to playing PvP. Well, there at some point, Tom Welling didn't want to be Superman. At some point, he wanted to do something else, and then at some point, then he started saying, "Oh no, I wouldn't mind doing another season of Smallville." So I don't know. His opinion has been all over the place. I guess when he felt like he was on top of the world and his career was going really well, he didn't want to do Smallville anymore. That happens quite often. Very often you'll see people leave a TV show thinking that they can start making movies nowadays. And then realize that they can't really do movies, so they go back to making TV shows. It happens. Well, the best example I can think of is David Duchovny, who was playing in the X-Files. Basically, he stopped doing the X-Files because he wanted to push for his movie career, and he did a couple of movies. He did Evolution, which personally I loved, but it wasn't big. It wasn't a big success. He did another film. I forget the actual name, where he fall in love with someone who has like the heart of his wife. Like his wife dies, and then they transplant her heart into someone else, and then he meets that someone else and falls in love with her. And it was Minnie Driver who was playing the someone else. And sadly, that didn't go. So his movie career sadly didn't go anywhere. So he had to go back to make TV shows. Oh. So he had to go back to do TV shows. And even more lately, they were pushing really hard to do some more X-Files. But I can see Tom Welling being pretty much in the same place. Where when his career was going really well, he didn't want to do Smallville anymore. And then when his career wasn't doing that well, strangely enough, the idea of doing Smallville was actually a good idea once more. So depending on what I often mention that depending on the agenda of the people involved, you can see a lot of weird things sometimes.
You hear something? Never know with all these new heroes and villains running around.
No Brian? Okay, I'll try. No Brian. I'll wait for you then. Well, he could have. Mulder could have translated well to film, depending on what film. Like in Evolution, it was perfect. It was as if you had Mulder who had retired from the FBI and who had become like a teacher, who had become like a biology teacher or something. So that was perfect. But sadly, for anything else, I guess people didn't really want to watch movies with our friend Mulder. And I guess producers also weren't very confident of making a movie with our friend Mulder. No, we cannot give items to our... yeah, we can give items, sorry, to our villain characters. It depends what items. Not every items can be shared through the shared bank. The new style unlocking feature from Game Update 82, we have been waiting for that forever. Oh, I think our friend Brian is in trouble. Like, we had been waiting for that feature forever. So I'm very glad that they finally managed to do it. Oh. It's something that we had been requesting for a long time. Like there are certain styles that is very very difficult to get in this Universe Online. There's some rare styles that you have to be really god darn lucky in order to be able to get. A good example of that would be I have the wrong character. I was going to show the speed boots, but no, materials will not be able to be unlocked. From what I understand, we're going to be able to unlock styles. We're going to be able to unlock auras. And even then, it's not going to be every styles and every auras just yet. Early on, it's only going to be up to episode 26, I think. So we're going to be able to unlock everything from episode 1 to episode 26. And we're going to be able to unlock... what else? We're going to be able to unlock items from the first 3 booster bundle, and we're going to be able to unlock items from the first 3 time capsules, I think, something like that. So we're not going to be able to unlock everything just yet, but it's something that in the long run we're going to be able to do. In the long run, we are going to be able to unlock everything, at least almost everything, I suppose. No, there won't. I know they said there would be consequences. Don't believe that. They're going to give what I call the illusion of consequences. Like they're going to do something that will give the illusion that there would be some consequences, but in the end, it will end up not really having any. The best example I can think of is Phil Coulson. When they killed Phil Coulson, it was supposed to be this big moment, this sad moment. Poor Agent Coulson was dead. And then, a few months later, he was back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the most ironic thing is that Josh Whedon, who did the Avengers, who killed Coulson in the Avengers, is also the one who brought him back in Agents of Shield. Like Josh Whedon is one of the co-creators of Agents of Shield, and he even wrote the first episode where Coulson appears in Agents of Shield. But then months later, when he had a falling out with Marvel, then he kept on complaining about that. He complained that Coulson should not have been brought back to life, and all that. But he's the one who did it. He's the one who brought Coulson back to life, and somehow he would complain about it. But sadly, that kind of things happen all the time.
So, Intergang's famed crime Bible. Sounds like fascinating reading. Let's go check out that book.
So for Avengers Infinity War, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shock and awe. I'm sure we'll see stuff like, oh my God, they killed this character, and oh my God, they destroyed the Earth, or whatever big consequences you can think of. But I'm pretty sure they're going to undo the whole thing eventually. You have to remember, basically, the next film after that will be, I think, Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel will be happening in the 90s. So I wouldn't be surprised that if there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens in the Avengers Infinity War that gets undone in the Captain Marvel movie. Like basically, I wouldn't be surprised if someone goes back in time, they make some changes, and whatever consequences we had in the Avengers ends up being undone because of their trip to the past or something like that.
The Book of Blood, Chapter 40, Verse 37. Lilith raised him up, and setting his hands upon her, spoke with breath hot on his neck. What ye name virtue, I call weakness. For ye lust heartily, but have not strength nor courage enough to slay.
You'll need to turn off the security camera unless you want Intergang swarming from all directions. Should be a terminal in here somewhere.
You mean changing the size of our character, like having sometimes a striker, sometimes a spark size? I have no idea. They were talking about that at some point, but I guess they couldn't pull it off, or they didn't pull it off. From what I understand, Black Adam is not going to be in the Captain Marvel movie, in the Shazam movie. Apparently, I thought he would at least guest star or guest appear or something like that. But apparently he's not going to be in the Shazam film. So from what I understand, they're going to make a Shazam film, they're going to make a Black Adam film, and then probably later down the line, then we will have our Shazam versus Black Adam. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see for that.
Shapeshifters, the prophecy is fulfilled. The twice-named daughter of Cain, Batwoman, will
Oh yeah, I get the idea. Yeah, sadly, it's something that we were supposed to be able to get, because the idea was to be able to create, let's say, to be able to create a character like, let's say, Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Like, the idea was to have, like, say, an armory with a small guy, and then an armory with a big bulk, so that you could transform from, let's say, Bruce Banner to the Hulk. Or in the case of Shazam, like having a small armory, a bigger armory, and then you transform. For the small armory would be like Billy Batson, the bigger armory would be Shazam, and then you could transform from Billy Batson to Shazam. Sadly, I don't think they were able to pull it off, or I think it's no longer part of their plans, or if it is, they haven't talked about it in a long time. So maybe it is still part of their plan, but somewhere very far down the line. Maybe there's always something that takes priority over that. Oh, our friend Brian has the Man-Bat trinket.
So, have you read my screenplay?
Not sure if I should say cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater, but I won't. It's an awesome trinket.
The Book of Blood, Chapter 19.
But yeah, a lot of us wanted to do what you're suggesting, Jeffrey. Either to be able to transform from Billy Batson to Shazam, so a small kid to a big guy, or able to transform from a small guy like Bruce Banner to a huge hulking brute like the Hulk. But sadly, I guess it won't be an option, at least not yet.
Looks like Batwoman and the Questioner on the same team.
Some of you guys often ask about the Batwoman cape.
Before they can.
This mission here is where you can get the Batwoman cape, if you are lucky. The Batwoman cape, sadly, is a rare drop, so the odds of getting it are very small. Which is why I often say to people, if you want the Batwoman cape, just buy it from the broker. Pour ce qui est des nouveaux costumes sur le marketplace, c'est très possible qu'ils fassent éventuellement Hyperaxe. I usually use the console over here. Well, let's not use it today. We don't need to. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. Like it could be used to mimic size-changing powers. So there's quite a lot of things that we could do if we had that option. Sadly, we don't have the option just yet. There's no real Bane style or official Bane style. The only official Bane style I saw was the belt. The Bane belt is pretty much the only official Bane piece of gear I saw. If there is another one, I'm sorry I haven't seen it yet. But you can if you use the there's a luchador mask that you can use to recreate our friend Bane. And there's probably other styles also that you can use. So there is a way to recreate the evil Bane, but there is not really an official style for Bane. At least not that I know of. If you were wondering what that evil slasher was doing in the corner, he thought he was being very sneaky and he thought I didn't see him. But I did see him. I'm not sure how many there are. Those I know of, there's Mixus Pedalic. There's one for the Valentine Seasonal. There's an Ambush Bug, but you can't really interact with Ambush Bug. He pretty much interacts by himself. There's 2 cats. There's 2 or 3 penguins, I think. So there's quite a few. I don't have them all, but I'll see about making a video with those I have. Oh, and the latest one they added was the little Batmobile we got as a gift. So you saw this stealthy cat who tried to surprise us. Poor cat.
Saith the Crime Bible, let the razor cut quick and right. In Cain's name, we commend the heart of this wayward daughter. May the fires of pain and rage blaze on earth. In Cain's name!
Well, we already have a Venus flytrap, but it's not really interactive. At least, I don't think it is. I actually have the Venus flytrap in my inventory for quite some time. I was saving it for a future possible nature character. So I never realized that it was interactive. I guess I'll have to try it out.
The infidels dare to interrupt the right? Eviscerate them!
If you're wondering why I'm not helping our friend Brian all that much, if we kill our friend Menheim too quick, we can glitch him. Last time I did that and I felt really silly. So I'm going to try not to glitch our friend Menheim. So I will just bring Barrel to help our friend Brian. Just to be sure that we do not glitch our friend Menheim.
The Book of Blood, Chapter 3.
Oh, I'm sure Torikomu posted about it. He posts about everything.
That he might practice murder and take that of which the weak have no need. And so, turn for us to live.
The prophecy of crime. All is written in the vial.
We've got what we're after. Leave them all to lick their wounds. Let's go.
There's quite a few storylines that they never finished. I suspect that at some point in time they will. It's like the riddle with crime. Basically, the riddle with crime was started like 6.5 years ago. It was from the very start of the game. There was this mission. I forget where it is. Around here somewhere. There's this mission over here where you have to fight the evil Deathstroke, and you have to save the Riddler. That was the start of the riddle with crime, and it took them like years before they finally managed to complete the storyline.
Was last spotted at this location. Seems he never lets the crime Bible out of his sight. So if Mannheim is in here, I'm betting the book is too.
So as you saw, sadly, we did not get a Batwoman cape as a reward. Which is why I always tell people just buy the cape from the broker. It's much easier and quicker than trying to play and replay the Crime Bible story, the Crime Bible mission, hoping to get the Batwoman cape. Thank you, Jeffrey. So what you're saying is that me and Torikumu are in the top 10 of DCUO video maker. That's very sweet.
I see you managed to make a profit out of stealing Intergang's crime Bible. Nice initiative. I'll have to remember you're up for riskier endeavors.
These are probably the two powers I played the least. I guess I would go with Rage. Rage seems to be pretty powerful. Let's go buy some. Let's go sell some crap. I'm starting to be a bit full.
I'm busy, but not so busy that I can't sell you some gear.
Yeah, I should have sold the quad bombs, but there's so much stuff that I keep thinking, oh, I'll use it later, and I never use it. Yeah, sorry about that. Lots of stuff to sell. Sadly, too often I'll keep a whole bunch of junk thinking it'll be useful later. And I guess the time has come to get rid of at least some of the junk. I sold, well, let's keep that for now. Oh, we got mail. Oh, we got a nice pair of pants from our friend Deathstroke. Ain't he sweet? And it's actually good pants. You want to duel? Why? We're friends.
Three, two, one, fight.
Let's give our friend a little bow. Oh, it didn't work. So let's see what next.
Cersei's plans with the Cult of Blood are heating up. With Trigon's energy loose on
Oh, we gotta watch. That's so sweet.
Interdimensional force of evil. If you think you can handle it, talk to Blood Priest Lucius and Burnley for more.
Oh, it's the same thing. I'm so sad. So let's talk to our friend.
Hail blood! Oh, hail Trigon! Trigon will rise, and then our power will be beyond imagining. If you think you are worthy, go to the Forum of the 12 in Robinson.
A different dance? I think you have one dance per, depending on what the attitude of your character is. Like you can see right now, I have the aggressive stance. So if I do the dance, what's the dance with this one? Like the dance in the aggressive stance, that's what the dance looks like. So it depends on which character. If you have the powerful stance, the dance will be something else. So it depends. Oh, our friend, we lost our friend. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, sorry if I guess you didn't like me defeating him. Next time I'll let him win, I promise. But thanks Charisma for playing. Oh, it's okay. Go doing your mission. That's fine. Well, if you want, I can go do your mission. It's something we could do. We do one mission for me, one mission for you, one mission for me, one no. No, it's alright. We don't have to. Oh, our friend Brian wants us to group again. So let's go play one mission for Brian. Right now I'm an evil villain of villainy who's doing villainous things.
This is Vicky Vale and JLA Watch on the superhero team, the Titans. More than a group, their bond is like family. The technical powers of Cyborg and the street smarts of Nightwing form a perfect complement to Raven's magic, Starfire's alien skills, and Beast Boy's shape-shifting prowess. Need to know more? Their rallying cry says it all. Titans together.
So depending usually on who your mentor is, there will be quite a difference in the missions you have to play. Oh, I guess he has the same mission we had. When am I going to end the live? Not sure. Probably one or two more missions.
I doubt you can contain even a fraction of his evil. His sin demons swarm in these caverns. Defeat them and absorb their foul power. If you survive, then perhaps you are the one.
Are we the one?
First, you must overcome the sin of
I thought Neo was the one.
wield the spirit of
Now I'm all
avarice by
confused.
stealing the
It snarls and snaps with the inner turmoil Beast Boy feels as a result.
Good night, Hyperax. For the booster bundle, the XP boosters, those last for about an hour. So once you use your booster, use it for an hour, and once after an hour, once your booster is expired, then you can decide to use another one. So if you have that many XP boosters, then you should be able to level up your character fairly quick.
To serve Trigon, you must gorge upon his evil. Become one with greed and swell your insatiable appetite for power.
Sorry, we have those demons to defeat, and we have those little baubles to pick up on the floor. Never sure if we get all the baubles or if we only need a certain amount.
have not felt hate until you have faced wrath. Show us the dark rage inside your soul.
Well, if you play villain, there's not as many players to begin with. And it's even worse, if you play a villain on the PvP server, there's practically no one. But the PvP server is deserted even for heroes. Obviously there's a bit more heroes, but nowhere near as much as there used to be. Basically they made a whole bunch of changes so that you can no longer start your character on the PvP server anymore. And that pretty much killed the server. I understand why they made the change. Basically, there's a lot of players who would go to the PvP server and they would hunt down low-level players. Usually, sadly, players who play on the PvP, are not the bravest players in the world. And in the open world, what that usually meant is that usually players were looking for low-level players to gank. Oh. No! Our evil friend Brian locked us out. Well, the water power has some really nice animation. I love the shark animation. It's probably not the most powerful ability in the game, but holy crap, do I love using it. The animation of the shark, awesome. I'm gonna have to experiment a bit more. Like, there's probably other animation that I don't quite see because I haven't used those powers just yet. This is on the villain side. At some point, you have to go fight some evil demons. You have to do that for your friend Brother Blood. And at some point, you end up fighting a demonic version of the Teen Titans. How old am I? I'm 48 years old. I'm an old man. Is this where we can get the Cyborg blasters? The only times I got the Cyborg blasters, I bought it from the marketplace. From the broker, I mean. So, if this is it, it's good to know. For me, I would have to say Quantum. Quantum is probably the power I enjoy using the most, and I like using the most. But there's a lot of fun powers. Using the combos with a Green Lantern character is always fun. I'm not sure if there's a feat to gather all the bubbles, but no reason not to. I thought I heard something.
A raging inferno of power, representing Starfire's birth at the hand of malevolent ills.
This is your final test. Behold Raven, Trigon's daughter. She has forsaken him to become a hero. No matter how she denies her father, she holds the sin of pride. Defeat her, make her bow.
I guess Munition is probably the one I enjoy the least. I guess Guns is not really something I think of as superheroes. And also the way they made the munition power, it was a lot more inspired by action movies from the 80s, like First Blood or Commando, than it actually was superheroes. But it's still a fun power to use. But I guess if I had to pick one power that is my least favorite power, it probably would be either Munition or maybe Rage, although I kind of like the Rage combos. Even if I'm just barely starting to understand the Rage Crash mechanic.
You cannot understand the evil you do by selling our souls to Trigon.
You're not as useless as
Is the
I
power
thought.
worth that much
You
to
see
you?
captured here the Titans, mortal enemies of our immortal Lord.
My level right now is 27, I think.
Completely to this plane. You have already tasted Trigon's sins. Now you will become them and raise the power to at last bring forth the mighty Trigon. Go now and return triumphant.
So, a little background on all the demonic power you just, ate. Trigon spawned all manifest one of the 7 deadly sins. Trigon can draw upon that energy to rise, and then, well, all hell breaks loose. Go get him, kid.
I'm just looking. I could have sworn there was something else here. Oh well. And I think that is going to be it for today. So that's going to be pretty much it for now, guys. Oh, let's go back to our base to imprint our new armory, our new equipment. I watched a few anime. I enjoy some of them. The sad thing is that I started pretty much with the top of the top of the top, like some of the early on I saw were Akira and what's the other ones? Like I started with pretty much the best of the best, like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and stuff like that. So afterwards, any anime I would look at would not really be a match for what I was used to watch. So I had a hard time watching anime at some point. But yeah, I did watch plenty of anime. As a kid, some of the anime I really enjoyed were Captain Harlock. It was called differently over here, but basically there was Captain Harlock and Grandizer. I loved those shows as a kid. And in the case of even later on when I saw those shows again as a grown man, I loved them even more because there was a depth and there was layers within those shows that as a kid I didn't quite get because obviously I was a kid. That as a grown up I could see layers that I never even knew existed within those TV shows. So yeah, I enjoyed quite a lot of anime. But I don't love everything that is anime, just as I don't love everything that is comics, obviously. But also, I work in animation, and I guess my standards for animation are a little more demanding than most people. because I have a more of a critical eye towards that. So there are some animated TV shows that sometimes people will enjoy that I have a hard time enjoying because all I see sometimes are the flaws as opposed to just watching the story. Sadly, it happens. The unlocking more like having an increase to level cap has been asked quite a lot. It's not really needed. Technically, your real level cap is the combat rating. So once you reach a combat rating 230 something, that's your real level cap actually. So having a level cap of level 30, the thing I wonder is why do they even bother with level 30? Don't even have levels anymore, or don't have combat rating. Just have levels. Level from level 1 to level 200 and what's the maximum right now? 235 or something. So it should be level 1 to level 235, and that's it, and no more silliness about the combat rating. But that's the way the game works. We go from level 1 to level 30, and then the combat rating becomes our real level afterwards. Well, yeah, if we could have more solo missions, I wouldn't be against that. I enjoy solo missions. You mean the Batman Ninja? Yeah, I watched it. I was about to comment on that, but I'm gonna have to watch it one more time because there's some bit in Batman Ninja that are really awesome. There are some bit that are very trippy, let's say. So I wasn't sure what to think about some of that. So I'm gonna have to watch it again and truly think about what I'm seeing because there's some good bits, but there's some bits that are all over the place, and some bits that are a bit of a mess. So I'm gonna have to watch it one more time before I can even talk about it somewhat. Well, some of those that I really enjoyed, and it's gonna be some really old ones. I really enjoyed the Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll was one of the ones I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed what's it called again? Legends of Lotus War. That one was it was a manga straight out of an anime like straight out of D&D sort of. So it had pretty much everything to please me. But Record of Lotus War was a pretty awesome series. There was a sequel like Chronicles of Mystara or something. That wasn't quite as good. It still was okay, but it wasn't quite as good as Chronicles of Lotus War. So there's a few Ghost in the Shell. I enjoyed Ghost in the Shell visually, but the story at some point I thought was a bit pointless, a bit pretentious, I guess even. Like the second act of the film, I would have gotten rid of at least some of that. I'm trying to think of other anime. Battle Angel Alita or Alita Battle Angel, whatever the actual name. Like Battle Angel, I wasn't a fan of the manga per se. I'd seen a few issues of the manga. It was okay. I'm not a big manga fan, I suppose. And but at some point at work, someone showed me the VHS. Yeah, that's how old I am. We used to watch VHS way back in the day. So there's someone at work who showed me the VHS of Battle Angel, and it was the Chinese version. It wasn't an American translated version, so I had to watch it in Chinese, and not even Chinese with subtitles, just Chinese. And still, it was the storytelling was good enough that even though I don't speak Chinese, I could understand what was going on. So that's how good the storytelling was in Battle Angel. Of course, later on, I saw the English version, so I could understand a lot better what the nuances of the story were. But ironically enough, I was so used at that point to hearing the Chinese voices, or was it Japanese? I forget. That once I saw the English version, holy crap, the English translation, I had a hard time with the English translation. I was so used to the original voices that watching it in English was a bit of a pain in the butt at first. I did not watch Death Note. I heard a lot of things about it. If I get a chance, I might give it a try. We'll see. Tokyo Ghoul. I guess I'm gonna have to look it up. I have absolutely no idea what Tokyo Ghoul is. There's someone at some point who suggested me some manga on YouTube, and it was some sort of almost X-rated manga, so I was a bit surprised. But okay, I'll write it down. Tokyo Ghoul. If you say it's good, I'll trust you on that. So maybe someday I should make a special manga anime episode. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.